now joined by Mya Berkman. And Mya, that was a wild game.
Yes, it was.
Was it as physical in the last half on the court as it looked like from here?
Definitely. You can tell in the second half that they really try to prevent the ball from going inside, and I felt it.
Now, you say you like games where there's some contact and the officials let things go. There were players flying all over the place. That one play near midcourt, there was a collision after collision after collision. There was finally a foul called. But we saw that throughout the game. Players were banging. It was hard to even get a jump ball called because everybody was fighting for it. Were you in your element?
For sure. I think as long as the refs keep it consistent, I love it to be physical.
Now, some of your teammates probably don't feel the exact same way, but even the guards were banging around a little bit tonight. There wasn't anyone that was bashful about being on the floor. It was really, from a fan standpoint, it was fun to watch. Now, the coaches might have been yelling and screaming at the officials. They were probably wanting more fouls called, but from my perspective, it was kind of a fun game. Same perspective for you?
Yes, it was very fun. It was.
Yeah. And it's always fun to win. We talked to Bridget the other night, and there's always smiles on your faces when you come out with a victory. It's not certainly the same if you come out with a loss, and you guys have started the year 2-0. Coach Berkman, for just a second, is there anything negative you can take from the first two games?
Obviously, it's early in the season. There are things we have to improve on. There's times that we fell asleep on defense or like we were just silly turnovers and stuff. But I just loved our energy, and like although it was kind of sloppy at the end, we still won. So, I love our effort. Like I said, defensively we have to get some things, and then just we had a lot of unforced turnovers, I think.
When you're playing a player like CeCe Hooks, who's probably going to be in the WNBA, certainly going to be playing professionally somewhere after she's done, she just has that much talent and that much ability to get to the basket. How does the game plan change on defense when you know you've got someone so dynamic like her, but then she can pass it to anybody that's going to shoot a three?
Yeah, so our defensive plan was to have that help side there, and like obviously she's still going to get her points, she's still going to get her shot attempts, but there were a lot of times that our help side was late, and then we trust our help. Like we play as a team. Our team defense was supposed to prevent her from getting up some of those shots.
Rebounding wise, I didn't see the final number. I guess I should mention that 48-38. So a plus 10. That's a solid night as far as rebounding was concerned. I think in the first half it was an even bigger margin than that. Are you happy with the rebounding?
I think we let some offensive rebounds go, and I think that in crucial times that we definitely need to box out. But you could tell that they wanted it, and I'm just glad that we were able to put that one away.
Have you ever seen anything as crazy as the play where Dee passes it off the rim to herself?
No, I didn't even know if that was legal. I was like, because she was the first player to touch it, and she was out of bounds, but she came back in bounds, and but I'm glad that we got the ball.
All that matters is the end result, but that was, I've never seen that either.
I know. I didn't because usually there's a rule where you can't be the first person to touch it if you're coming from inbounds. And so technically nobody touched it before she touched it. So I was like, I didn't know if that rule applied.
Makes you kind of wonder that if you're inbounding under the basket and everybody kind of vacates and you're there, could you just kind of toss it up into the net of that end and then get it yourself?
I don't know. I thought I knew every rule in basketball, and then something happens like that, and I'm just like, never mind.
There used to be a thing that they did, I think, on Monday Night Football was you make the call, and then they would come up with some crazy play, and then the fans would have to say, "Oh, I think that should be a holding call. That's out of bounds." And so that I think that's our you make the call tonight. If you didn't know better, you and I think both would have said that wasn't legal.
I think it should. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong, but I think it should have been their ball only because she was the only person to touch it, unless somebody else from the other team or anybody else touched it. But I could be completely wrong, so I'm glad I'm not a ref.
Well, I got a text from someone who I believe is smarter than I am and said that it is legal, that you can do that. It shocked me, too, that is legal. But then the question I have is, even if that was a legal play, the fact that Johnson took two hands, grabbed Dee, and just tossed her to the floor.
Oh, yeah, that would
have been a flagrant foul either way.
Yeah,
and that would have
I
been
agreed on.
2 free throws in your ball. So even if the play was illegal on the inbounds, I think you'd have got it either way. But I was told from someone with authority that said that is legal. But it does surprise me because it does kind of put you in spots where if you're all alone under the basket, you don't have anybody to inbound to, you could just toss it and hit the bottom of the backboard or the bottom of the rim and then grab it yourself. And I guess that's
something new.
Legal.
Love it. I love learning more about the game.
And we say this, we'll see something else before the year's over that we've never seen before. It's
Probably
crazy how that kind of works out. You got a little time off. The schedule doesn't get any easier for you guys as far as you've got JMU coming up. You're going to play in a tough tournament down at Navy. You're going to be playing Hampton. You're going to play Virginia Tech. I know you're up for the challenges, but is it kind of nice to have so many, especially many of them being at home as well, so many tough opponents early in the year?
For sure. I think it just prepares us for the rest of the season. Conference we know is going to be hard. We got new additions. And I just think that this challenges us both on offense and defense to just be our best.
Tell us a little bit, because people on radio can't see. Tell us a little bit about the hair. What color would you call that? I was trying to. I mean, it's pink, right?
Yes,
it's fair
pink.
to say it's pink. But it's it's really a cool kind of purplish pinkish color. It's very good. Do you guys have any kind of competition as far as I'm going to have the coolest hair, and then Kennedy says no, I'm going to have the coolest hair, and then somebody else? I mean, do you guys ever talk about these fashion statements before the game?
Not necessarily. My hair was pink before I could put my braids in, and so I just thought it'd be nice to match it. And then obviously, like breast cancer and just cancer in general, I just thought it was a nice gesture.
Well, I thought about braiding my hair tonight, but I was like, no, I don't want to upstage. I don't want to upstage Mya, so I'll keep it as is. Well, congratulations, outstanding career night for you. You finishing up with 24 points and tied a career high in rebounding with 11 rebounds. Outstanding night and a huge win for the Lady Flames. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was Mya Berkman. Lady Flames get the win over Ohio.